Oakley Dougleys. So, I am a bit colorblind. I have these glasses that have this red tint on them that help me see colors a little bit better, like the color dot test. I can pass a handful more when I'm wearing them. So, I think what it is, I don't remember the actual diagnosis of which of the types that I have. But I think what it is that I have a shortage of red cones. So, a lot of red tints or things that are reddish can be hard for me to distinguish. So I don't really see most pinks or purples. Orange can be a really hard color for me. My yellows are pretty pale most of the time. I don't really know what a yellow green is. I really don't know what gold is. Orange is really weird. But so like it doesn't really affect me, right? Most of the time. Or at least that's what I think. But then when I was writing Butterfly Snuff, that poetry collection, well, a couple of the poems are about colorblindness. One of them wasn't really about colorblindness, though. So I got to thinking about how it actually affects me. Like, I was never going to be a pilot, and I can't do lighting design in theater, even though I'm a theater person. But, like, whatever. Design isn't really my thing in general. And I got to thinking, my colorblindness does result in certain colors being gray for me, especially with certain browns and greens. Those are the ones that tend to merge into the grayness. And like some pinks become white, some very light blues become white, some other things become gray, but it's not really that exaggerated for me. But so the most common thing for me to become gray is the ground and trees. So whenever I would have to take these really long drives, say from my college to where my family lived, it would be a constant onslaught of just these very, very dead looking trees. And the trees weren't dead because it would be a large ecological disaster if all of these trees for this long stretch were dead. But they looked dead to me. They looked dead and dying and sapped of everything that they had once been. And sometimes when I would go on hikes with people, I'd just look at the ground and it would be a lot of gray. Dirt is often gray. Not like soil, but dirt is gray a lot of the times. And so going hiking, the ground looks dead and the trees look dead. And I kind of got to thinking, is that maybe why I don't like nature all that much? Because sometimes going out in the world is insanely depressing. And yes, I have depression and probably other things. So that's the majority of it. But I do think some of it actually is affected by going out and just seeing all of this death everywhere. And it does change when I wear my glasses. I tend not to wear them indoors because they look like sunglasses, so they make me look like an asshole. But they provide this redness thing to everything that makes yellows easier to see. It makes pinks easier to see. It makes orange exist as a thing. Purples become easier. And it's interesting in that the world I see, as far as I can tell, is a lot more muted and pastel than people who can see more colors than I is. You guys have a really, really angry and intense red. Like, it makes me uncomfortable to look at red when I have my glasses on because it's just such a in-your-face color, and like yellow becomes so bright and painful almost to look at. Whereas like, I guess because I can't see them as well, for me they're more soft. Most colors are pretty soft, but without my glasses, so much of it is dead. So it's strange to me. And I guess the point here, besides just me talking about what it's like being a bit colorblind, even though it doesn't really matter, it's like I'm not complaining. I mean, I guess I am, but it's not like a big deal. Is that what I just did there, right? What I just did, talking about it not being a big deal, even though beforehand I kind of just talked about how the world looks dead. It's really easy to take something that's kind of funny. Colorblindness is funny, I think, as a colorblind man. It's funny. It's easy to take something like that and turn it into a funny little thing of little to no matter, and then discover that maybe it actually is affecting you in a really weird way that is hard to describe in a way that can be taken seriously without sounding over dramatic. Like, it doesn't affect me with most things. There are a few jobs I can't take, but also everything looks, I mean, not everything, but a lot of things look dead. And it's depressing living in a world where all of the plants are dead. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that thing that affects you that feels really silly and inconsequential and you think might not be all that serious or might not be taken seriously, so you downplay it a lot. Maybe it really does affect you. Maybe it is kind of important. Maybe it should be taken seriously and you should be a bit kinder to yourself about it. I'm not saying that it should consume you. Like, I'm not gonna care any more about my colorblindness than I normally do. I'm still gonna find it generally funny. But, you know, recognize that it does affect you and then be kind to yourself about it, whatever it is. Yeah. This was a long rambling time, wasn't it? Okay. I'm about to go. Think about how rainbows for me only look like random pale stripes of yellow. Yeah. Rainbows are odd. I always look at like rainbow material and I'm like, that's not what a fucking rainbow looks like. What the fuck are you on? Okay, bye.